Okay, hi guys.
Hello.
Welcome to our Friday call. We have just had a census that we are going to change the day of our weekly team call because Fridays tend to get a little messy for people, and East Coast people at 3 o'clock, that would be 6 p.m. on a Friday. So I think we agreed that we can do it at noon, and so I'm thinking Tuesdays. Well, Tuesdays get. Let me see. How about Mondays at noon? Does everybody
Oh,
think
All
that's a
right.
good one?
yep, that works for me.
Yep.
Okay, so
That works good.
Mondays at noon is going to be our team calls. We will always record them, so if you can't make it live, although we'd love the community to have more people on that can make it live. So today we're going to continue on from last time. I did send out the recording from Tuesday when we did this, and it was a really great time that we had together because we all learned a lot from each other. So part of my notes from Go Global are on Facebook. And like I said the other day, all the people that are really taking hold of this and running, and a lot of the people that were crossing stage as new global directors only know Optavia. They have done this
Yeah.
since last July, and they're crossing stage as globals. And all of them were the same theme, no matter where they came from, what their background was. They were like, this is brilliant that somebody came up with something that we're all going to do anyway. We're all going to work on our health. Without our health, we're nothing. And they've attached a financial piece to it that makes us want to do it and be accountable and tell our friends. I mean, this is a no-brainer. So they're leading with the whole picture. They're not saying, oh, and then there's a coaching business over here you could do if you wanted. They're like going, hey, pay the $200, you're going to forevermore get a paycheck, telling your friends. I mean, it's brilliant. So so that is kind of the theme of the mind shift that's happened for me and for a lot of people that have been able to experience that. And that's why I want to continue to keep sharing with you guys that mindset, because I personally had been leading with weight loss this whole time. And even if they didn't have weight loss, I was like, well, who do you know that wants to get healthy? And it just isn't like that anymore. With the fuelings being all natural, the underlying integrity of the company is all about complete lifestyle transformation, not about losing weight and not about being perfect on program or whatever. So just by having that mindset of the whole thing being, it's this perfect little bubble of lifestyle that you can step into with community, and we can all do it together, and you get a paycheck. Pay the $200 and forevermore, because without help, we have nothing. And I'm going to do a Facebook Live after this, because I'm thinking that there's a lot of people that I said I'd never give up on, and I kind of did. It's not that I gave up on them, but they kind of fell through the cracks, and I need to go back and talk to them about all of this. So anyway, that leads me into Facebook, how important it is. And the other common theme was everyone is huge on Facebook. They're doing the 3, 3, and 3 every day, and the consistency is totally every day. So Vicki, I know you have been doing the 3, 3, and 3, so I'm not the one doing all the talking today. If you would tell us what the 3, 3, and 3 is, and how you organize your day to get that done.
I have found the 3, 3, and 3 is so simple and so powerful. I learned from the boot camp, the 6-week boot camp that I was diligently, hello, Vicki, getting up at 7 on a Saturday morning. Hello.
Big deal.
It's a really big deal. And in taking massive notes, and over again, I heard the 3, 3, and 3. And if you miss a day, then make it 6, 6, 6. You don't have to think that, oh well.
So tell the folks on the video what the 3, 3, and 3 is.
Okay, the 3, 3, and 3 is 3 posts a day. And I thought it was brilliant that someone said that she actually puts a little reminder in her phone that, oh, it's time to go and do a post. Because if anybody, like me included, would get so wrapped up into Facebook that you waste so much time. So it's not about just being in Facebook all the time. It's being
And
intentional.
it's the 3 spread out throughout the day, not just
Correct.
3 all at once.
Yes. Yes. So you're going to want a before and after. You're going to want maybe something about your life so that it's personal. They get to know who you are, living out loud. And maybe it's a recipe. Maybe it's a quote that is an inspirational quote. And then it's going to be adding 3 friends, 3 new friends, and starting 3 conversations. And at first I thought, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to find 3 people to invite? And when you, or 3 people to start a conversation with. And there's so many trainings out there now on how to go about doing that, but I will give you this much information if that's okay. Julie, can I go ahead? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, please. We're in this together.
Okay. So when you are looking to invite 3 new people, we get these things all the time coming up and say, you should be friends with so-and-so. And so you get those all the time.
The suggestions.
Yes, absolutely. And it may say you have 3 mutual friends or 12 mutual friends or whatever it might be. So I kind of look those over and see which ones might be a good fit for me. Who are their mutual friends? And is this somebody I might like, to be honest? I don't want to friend somebody that's cranky all the time on Facebook and really negative or very political. Then I just pass right on them. So I look for happy.
And you don't want to friend other coaches. If all their friends are in common or at Optavia, that's not going to help you.
Exactly right. So if they're friends with you, Julie, I pass right on because I know you got that covered. So, and so I will. You can't just send a friend request to you. That's not good. So you want to be personal. You want to go and look at their page. And when you send the friend request, I do a message along with it and say something like, Facebook says we have some amazing mutual friends. I think we should be friends too. What do you think? And pass it on like that. And I get really good response, like, yes, we should be, or if it's somebody particular, I'll say, hey, how do you know, blah, blah, blah. We've been friends for a long time. So how do you know them? I think we should be friends. Something personal like that. So it isn't just some weirdo out of left field. So basically what you're doing is then too, guess what? You're starting 3 conversations. Boom.
I love it.
Conversations. And there have been times I haven't had time to do all of that, and I've friended people and I've done other conversations, but you can go to your friends on your page, and you can click on recently added. And so when you pull up the recently added, who have friended you back, and now you don't want to just wave, that doesn't cut it. And so I will spend the time to go to each one of those people and say something personal. Again, like, I love that painting. Did you get that around here? Or did you make, whatever it is, something that's an open-ended question so that they can respond with an answer. So you're actually getting a conversation going. So
Thank you, Vicki. That's so helpful. I learned a lot from that. What I heard was that you're really diligent about the quality of people that you're bringing on, not just the number. And that is what is the common theme of all my notes too, is they're like, you need to find people that are better at this than you.
Yeah.
Not that you have to drag along. And so that has been a lot of my learning here too. And
Julie, I'm sorry, but I want to just throw one last thing in.
Yes.
I found that I'm now more productive on Facebook. I don't just scroll down the news feed and watch this one video after another video. You're really utilizing your time because our time is so valuable. It doesn't take as much time. I might be talking 20, 30 minutes doing what I just said to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that is really paying off because these new people then are starting to see your post and they're starting to ask questions. And last month I got 3 new clients by doing the 3, 3, and 3.
That's awesome. I love it.
Worth our time.
And the recently added feature is key to my world because, like, just last night I went to a schmooze fair from the chamber, and there's all these booths, and my way, and it may not be everybody's, but my way is I don't just trade cards with people. I'm like, hey, you want to be friends on Facebook? And so I am like, I probably added 3, 4, 5 new friends last night, and I get home and some of them I didn't get their information, but we friended. So then I go back to recently added to see, oh, they're I remember that person, you know. So it helps with that. And you know, when the desire is great enough, the path will emerge, and all you're doing is you're just getting the weeds out of that path so that the people that are looking for you are going to emerge. And so it's pretty cool. So we have 2 lives that we're living, and that is the life that we're living right now and the life we want to live. And when we're posting on Facebook, it's really, really important for you to be transparent and not a gimmick. And I heard that quite a bit, that people tend to be gimmicky and, you know, they're only putting up pictures that they've airbrushed, or they're really making the world see what they want them to see so that it's attractive. And honestly, that is not relatable. And so I'm learning the good, the bad, the ugly, not the negative, but just the real. So, you know, the ranting of the politics and the ranting of the, you know, my day went from bad to worse, you know, people don't really want to hear that. What they want to hear, though, is that the struggle is real for you too, and you're not perfect either. And dang it, why did I do that? Next time I can do it better. So just being authentic and not being gimmicky. I really loved when I heard that. I was like, okay, I think that I have been guilty of that a little bit. So kind of keeping it real here. And,
can you give me an example, Julie, of what a gimmicky person might, what that might be?
Well, it's just about making everything look perfect, be perfect. How convenient that it matches your business and it's all perfect and in this cute little box, and ta-da, here I am, and that's all you get to see, you know. You see it a lot, and you know, I have been guilty of it too. Kim, any thoughts on that?
I've just, that's always been so important to me, you know, as a coach. I just can't, sometimes I have a hard time even posting business for that reason, just because it's just important to me to show up as who I am. And so I guess I'm a little bit more on the other side and need to step up the business a little bit.
So that people actually know what you do.
Exactly.
Yeah. And Megan Valentine said something that was pretty profound. She was saying that, you know, as far as along the life thing and all the stuff that, you know, she makes it a point that a lot of times she will, you know, have something a little bit more transparent than she's comfortable with, but she wants people to know that they're real, and just really living the life on Facebook the way you would off of Facebook. And so it's like the congruency that happens when you start just letting your hair down, and then you don't have to worry about being something you're not, I guess. So, but she said you're gonna find resistance. The more you're out there, the more you'll get some resistance. And when you're getting resistance, that means you're on the right track, you know, because you're reaching enough people. And then in my own life, your own life, the resistance that we get as far as, oh, stuff is coming left and right. Why? I'm doing everything I'm supposed to, and it's getting harder and harder. And she said, that resistance is going to be there when you're doing the stuff that is extraordinary and out there. And the more you do, the more resistance you're going to get. And so expect it. Know it's right around the corner. And when you're moving forward, you know it's coming. So just expect it. So I know something's right around the corner because I'm rocking it, and I'm getting real with what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to expect it. And then when it comes, then you're like, okay, I know I'm right in the right spot, and I'm pushing right through it because I know pushing right through it is going to get me to where I want to be. And so the consistency is what fails when people give in to the resistance. And the consistency is the only thing that moves you forward if you want to really do it. The least work, it's harder to stop and then start back up than it is to just do a little bit every day. So when you have that resistance, our knee-jerk reaction is to kind of pull back. If you lean in and keep going, then you're going to push through it, and it's going to come out the other side tenfold what you would have had you stopped and let it go. So
resistance again, you're meaning when something just goes totally wrong? Life happens.
You have a bad call with someone, or flat tire, you get in a wreck, 10 things happen in one day. You're just like, what the heck? And then that's when you know, oh, that means I'm doing it right. Yes, bring it on. Anyway, I wanted to keep this call to a half an hour today. So I really, the consistency on Facebook, and like, I couldn't have said it better, Vicki. Quality, quality, quality. You are looking for people that can do this better than you can. And so there's all kinds of share videos that my new goal is that I'm going to watch a video a day. That's my consistency that I'm going to implement, because I need to get back to being the, this good at my craft. And on the Simple Systems, there's a ton of videos that are share videos, which is what I wanted to watch first, because I want to know, my first thing is, what do I send them? And so I wanted to know what each video was, and they have really great ones. And they even have a pastor video just for pastors. I met a pastor of a church yesterday, and we're having coffee, and I'm like, oh, there's a pastor video. Yes. And that's another common theme. People are bringing on heads of organizations. There's a lot of pastors now that cross the stage. There's a lot of organizational leaders that, business owners, stuff that already know people, and they're like, yeah, why wouldn't I attach a paycheck to this thing I want to do? And next thing
the other thing is that there's a ton of people that are in our age group who are going, okay, I desperately want to retire, but what the heck am I going to do?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So, I mean, it's a perfect business for that.
Right. And I know, right? And the last thing I want to touch on is, I touched on it at the beginning of our call, but as far as not giving up on people, I don't know about you, but I have a book that's this thick of past pre-clients that some of them I have not touched that paper for 4 years at least. And I'm being very transparent about that, because I just didn't, and I let the fear take over, because once you haven't talked to them, then you're like, well, I can't call them. And like we said the other day on the call, you do it afraid. Do it afraid over and over again. And if you keep doing it afraid, even when you're still afraid, you're used to it now. You just do it afraid. And so the other angle of that is giving up too easily on people that really want it. So perfect example, I had a call last week, went through the whole thing. When I hung up, I realized I did most of the talking. First mistake. Secondly, she ended with, well, we want to both do it and we can't afford both of us. And, she made it all about the money. And, I told her about coaching, but it wasn't like, it was before I went to Go Global. Anyway, so when I got back from Go Global, normally I would have just put her in the thing and kept her on my newsletter and called her in a month or two or whatever. And I just called her and I said, you know what? I really, you've been on my heart. I know I have something that can change your future. And I have a couple questions for you. I got some ideas for you. Can you call me back? And she actually called me back. And long story short, I brought her into, I don't know why I've been so afraid to dream with people, but I used to go, an extra $500 a month or whatever. No, I started going, how would you feel if you could bring in $5,000 or $10,000 a month? Maybe what's your husband do? Wonder what would he do if he wasn't teaching? And all this and teaching, that tells me we don't have, that much money to replace for his income. And they're just starting their family and all this kind of stuff. Next thing you know, she's like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm going to talk to my husband tonight. And they're signing up on Saturday. And before I would have given up on them. And so it was that extra, like the other day when we were saying, when you ask their why, and they say, well, because of this, or I want this, then you never stop there. Then you dig again and go, and why do you want that? And you always dig deeper. And I haven't been doing that either. I'm being really honest with you guys.
Julie, one of the things that I wanted to say earlier that I thought of is on these 3, 3, and 3s and on these calls, do it when you're at your peak energy-wise. If you are at your peak first thing in the morning, get it done first thing in the morning or in the afternoon. Try to figure out when our peak time is, and that's the time when you can really get some energy going.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I realized my peak time is not in the morning.
True.
I'm clearly an owl.
Me too.
Anyway, I am going to wrap this up. I'm going to stop the recording.
Thank you.